How's it going, guys? Welcome back on this video. Now, this is Solo Leveling Season 2 opening and outro, or you can say opening and closing. Like I promised towards the ending of my review on Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 2. It was a badass episode. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. I promise that I will probably do a reaction on Season 2 opening and closing. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. The animation is so top-notch in Solo Leveling, man. It would have been good to have the opening have a subtitle so that we can read along, but it is an English version. Actually, it's not on Japanese version, so I'm not going to knock on it. Okay, now I'm gonna do outro, then I'm going to give my overall review. Okay, the outro though is on the original Japanese version. Okay. The outro is on Japanese version. The outro kind of sounds like Tokyo Ghoul opening, either the opening, one of the Tokyo Ghouls opening, or outro closing intros. It could be the same singer that, or the same company that sang it as well, because it kind of sounds like it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Now, if you want to stick around for me to break the opening down and the closing down, you can stick around for that. So, the opening starts off with this scene. We see our boy, Sung Jino, sitting in this high seat chair and with a hoodie on his head, like just calm, composed. And we kind of see the same thing somewhere around the closing or the outro as well. Let me see if we, towards the ending of the outro, we see him as well sitting on a chair. This time it's a different chair. That's the number one thing that I picked out. So he, our boy has leveled up so much that he's basically almost untouchable, which I touched base on my recent reaction, Season 2, Episode 2 on Solo Leveling, my review on it. At some point, Our boy has leveled up so much that he's almost untouchable because he has these entities fighting for him. He also dabble in here and there to fight as well, but most importantly, he loved to use the entities that he has defeated to fight his enemy, making it somewhat some way, you know, kind of redundant a little bit. But like I said, on his defense, he has earned it. Song Jino has earned every one of the entities, every characters that he has defeated, because it wasn't easy. The first couple of episodes on season 1, it was brutal. Our boy literally went through a rebirth. He was demised and came back to life, went through a reborn that allowed him to level up. Not just that, he didn't just stop there. The boy continued to go through trials and tribulations, almost getting demise on his journey, going into dungeons by himself to take on the enemies or the boss that resides on those dungeons. So this is one of the things that I picked out right away watching. And then we see, we see a blood splatter. Now, if you guys remembered, one of the guys that told Sun Jino on season 1, he told him, "You are Bakemono, you are now a monster. If you continue to gaze into abyss long enough, the abyss will gaze right back at you." And it's so profound, like it's such a chilling comment or sentence for that character to make. And if you guys look on, if you really understand, if you pay close attention, I'm sure each and every one of you had felt at some point, wait a minute, is Sun Jino still the same guy? Is he still in there? Because there are certain things he does, and the way he's leveling up, you can see that although he's defeating his enemy and taking their soul and using them to fight, you can also see that it's kind of changing him. When he was in the washroom towards the ending of season 2, episode 2, when he was in the washroom talking to himself and his eyes glow, you can see that, when he glows his eyes, when he taps into his ability, somehow, some way, there's a cold, chilling vibe that I get from it. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that feels like that. I'm sure some of you guys do sense it. There is a cold, chilling vibe. And on season 2, episode 2, the Baruka's, the Ice Elf Chief second man that he took off his head when Baruka told him to take on one of his men, since he refused to hand over his people, that he's protecting. And before Baruka could finish his sentence, Sun Jino went in and took off, the second in command head off, like clean cut, without hesitation. So, to his defense once again, hey, the boy has been through a lot. He has been through a lot. Even he has been through a situation where he trusts a ranking commander. He goes into this dungeon with him, not knowing that these people sacrifice pawns in order for them to survive when they go into dungeon. He's been betrayed. A lot of things has been done to him. So it has changed him, of course, right? So let's continue. So let me also add that the opening also kind of contain English and the original Japanese voiceover in the opening. And again, one of the things about openings and outros, they kind of put out an Easter egg a little bit to kind of give you a premonition on what is going to happen. But I'm really not feeling that. I mean, they're giving some things out here and there, but they're doing it in such a way that that Sun Juno will end up fighting these characters at some point, but they're not really giving you the full fight or what could happen. Like they're giving you what could happen. They to let you know these characters will show up, but that's just it. You know, that's just it. Now this person right here that shows up with his is it another character that we're gonna end up getting acquainted with at some point on this anime that I do not know. He's coming out of the shadows, and you know, hmm, it's going to be interesting, man. Like this season is going to be, and we're getting 13 episodes on this season, so I'm looking forward to this fight. Is going to be epic. This damn character that looks like one of those what is it called what's that game called again? Diablo, like one of the boss characters or some video game boss character. You know, it's gonna be interesting to see how this fight is going to go. And right here, they give us a glimpse of San Gino kind of setting up not a premonition, but a revelation on how he began. If you guys remember, oh man, I cannot. Hold on. I really want to get this shot. My goodness, I cannot get this damn scene. What the hell? Okay, right here. They showed us. Now, this is Sun Jino when he first started. He looked fragile. He looked very easy to bully and everything. This was how he was when he first started on the first season, the first couple of episodes. And then after his rebirth, they're kind of giving us a revelation and how he leveled up somewhat. This is how he was, and he had to be demised and went through a reawakening. That's what they call it actually on Solo Leveling, a reawakening or awakening on Solo Leveling. And then after his awakening, that's where, he evolved. Now let's get into the outro real quick. This one, I'm not going to waste too much time on it. On this one, we see Sun Jino walking towards something, walking in towards a hallway or some type of a palace. And we see this chair. You remember when this first started, this chair was empty, but towards the end of it, Sun Jino was sitting on this chair. So we don't know what kind of story they're trying to tell us. I'm sure some of you, if not most of you that have read the manga, you probably know what this means. You probably understand the premonition of this opening. Sun Jino walking towards this chair. And then we see him again sitting something that looks like at the head of the table. He is sitting at the head of the table. And the table has all these other people around him. So, and we see all these knights. And he's walking. You aren't E rank, are you? The head of the table is empty. I mean, the head of the table and then people around him on the side corner of the table, there's no one sitting there. He's alone. And again, they show us a revelation or his process. This is again the previous Song Jino before his awakening. This is how he was, but it looks like, just like I said, he went through a rebirth. You can see here the old version of him, and then there's this pool of blood on the table, right? And then we see him as he is now. Now this is so chilling in some way. You can see the current version of him giving the old version of him a hand. It's almost like, yeah, that's the current version of him giving his old version of him a hand to get up and fight, something like that. And then you see him sitting on the throne. All right, guys, there you have it, man. Let me know what you guys think on the comment section on my prediction and my review on Solo Leveling opening and closing on season 2. On that note, keep on keeping on. See you in the next video.